How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of Seeking Vril. I'm your host, Vril Seeker. I want to take this podcast on a less serious note. I'm not going to have a real schedule. Nothing like, oh, I need to record it this time and that, all that bullshit. Most of the podcast is going to be winged. Yes, there will be topics that I stick to. But for this first episode, let's just keep it light. Keep everyone welcomed, I do plan on having guests. If you do want to be on the show, DM me. We'll talk about shit, It's not going to be some high profile shit where, you don't have this many followers, you can't be on here, all that. If my followers in the community want to come on the show and interact with me, that's fine, we'll do that. You just can't be a fucking freak, man. Can't be weird. You gotta have some kind of accomplishment in life. With that being said, let's jump into it. So I've been on this solar journey, if you want to call it that, this golden journey, this awakening, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The reason that we've all been brought here, in this community to interact with each other, to better ourselves. I've been on this quest to become the best I can for, I want to say, 2 years now. So 2 years ago, I was on a deployment to an island, and it wasn't nothing crazy. It was just a routine trip that we did. But it was my first actual deployment, and I found that the guys out there, when you're in a deployment, you want to party, you want to have fun, you want to drink. But some of the guys out there were absolute pieces of shit. I noticed a lot of guys who were in charge of me. And I'm not talking about upper leadership, because they're usually level-headed people. Yeah, they're very professional, and it's kind of annoying. But I have respect for them, because they have their fucking shit together. I'm mainly talking about the lower NCOs that were put in charge of me. And specifically for my shift, we had night shift. The guy that was in charge of me, I'm not going to say his rank or his name or anything like that. He was our lead supervisor for night shift. And this guy was a total piece of shit, man. Nice guy, he was nice, don't get me wrong, so he wasn't completely off kilter. However, this grown man looked like a 40-year-old child. He looked like he was 12 and 40 at the same time. He had the worst posture, terrible posture imaginable. The way he carried himself, and not just posture, not just physically, but the way he spoke and talked about himself was very degrading, very self-degrading. One of those guys where they're always saying oh, I'm not good enough, oh, I'm a piece of shit, I should just kill myself, stuff like that. You gotta watch out for those guys. Make sure you're taking care of them, but you also have to understand it is a pain in the ass when they're your leader and you are more competent than they are. However, your hands are tied. And especially being younger in the military, at this time I did not have an attitude of controlling my life. It was yes sir, no sir. And that's not essentially bad, especially when starting out in the military or starting out somewhere at a new job. You have to be yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir, no ma'am. You have to grovel for a little bit before you build yourself up. You need to play the game. You cannot just be new and think you run shit. That is not how the world works. It isn't. Sometimes you have to play the game. But anyway, this grown child was in charge of us on night shift, and he was put in a pretty important position. He not only was he the lead for his shift, but he was also the lead for the personnel from our unit that was deployed there. So he was night shift lead, and at the time he was a lower ranking NCO, and he was also in the big leagues with the other high ranking NCOs that were out there, the other leads for the other units. Now, This man, the whole time while on night shift, he complained about the job that he was put in. He complained about the task. He complained about his terrible job. He complained about other people the whole time. And through all this complaining about the position he was put in, he was also stroking his ego. He was jerking that dick up and down the whole time, saying shit like, oh man, this job is so hard. Like, I hate it. But he's like, on the flip side, he's like saying, I'm night shift lead. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do it this way. This, that. Dude was stroking his massive fucking ego. And the NCO who is directly in charge of me, one of the guys from my shop, we even talked about it together. This man, he had his shit together. He is super fit, super huge, one of the best guys I've ever worked with. He's in a different unit now, but man, do I miss the times with him. Really great guy, but we shared a lot of views, and talking with him in the truck for 12 hours a night really made me realize how many pieces of shit there are out there in the military. Am I saying the military is a shitty institution? Absolutely not. A lot of things are questionable, and a lot of leaders that are put into the positions are questionable. However, the military has done me more good than it has harm. And while I don't recommend serving right now, I also do not regret joining. It is probably the best thing that has ever happened to me, and has done me a multitude of good. So continuing, being around this night shift lead taught me a lot. Seeing his posture, seeing the way he carried himself, seeing that he's a total piece of shit, yet he's in charge of the people below him. It kind of struck a nerve with me. Now this man, he smoked constantly, drank constantly, and I get that, that's cool, but only if you really, only if you're fucking aesthetic, you know? I feel like when a total Chad does that shit, it's cool, but when a shrimp dick does that, it's not cool at all. So after being exposed to that for a whole month, 12 hours a night, because he rode around with us too. He was always with us, and putting up with him was a pain in the ass. Sometimes I even got on his nerves on purpose just because he annoyed me so much. And that's toxic. I wouldn't recommend it, but sometimes when people get to you, you can be a kind of an asshole. And sometimes you need to, but most of the time you don't. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have to. Don't be an asshole to those above you. Just take care of yourself, unless it's required for you to tell people how it is sometimes. So on this trip, after being exposed to him and, you know, seeing what a shit quality person looks like, I swore to myself that I would never become like that. Never. So started working out more, started eating healthier, and when I got back from that deployment, I really got dedicated. Now I had a lot of time on my hands to work out and to watch my nutrition, and I went from being 180 and muscular, stocky, but chubby, nowhere's near beautiful like I wanted to be. I went from that to being in the best shape of my life. And here's some tips that I would recommend for you to get on that track if you're not on it already. First one, and what I think is the most important by far, is no FAP or semen retention. That shit really gets into your brain. It is brainwashing. The reason porn is free, you'll hear this all the time, the reason why porn is free is because you are the product. Porn captures your mind and holds it hostage. And a lot of the guys in our society that you work around or go to school, they always talk about, damn dude, what, like jerking off feels so good, look at this porn star, look at that, like, oh man, like, Yeah, these guys are sitting on their fucking toilets or in their beds, stroking their fucking dick to pixels on a screen, and then talking about it at work like it's fucking cool. Like, you are wasting so much of your time on porn. Let's just get into the physical aspects about it before I get into the spiritual aspects. When you're watching porn, one, you're wasting a lot of your time that can be spent doing something else. When you ejaculate, no matter how you ejaculate, your body releases prolactin, which is a testosterone suppressant. That's why after you nut, you get something called like post-nut regret, post-nut clarity. You're feeling lazy or some shit, or after you jerk off, you'll go and eat some dog shit food and sit and play video games for the rest of the fucking night. I've been there. I know what it's like. I'm not perfect by no means. I've been in the depths, you know. A lot of us have, but a good bit of us has broken free. And for those who haven't, and you're looking to improve your life, please, for Christ's sake, please stop jerking off. Get off the porn, man. When you're suppressing your testosterone, you're suppressing what makes you a man. Yes, a dick makes you a man. Dick, balls, Adam's apple, bigger hands, bigger fucking body structure, all that, yeah, you're a man, you have that. But when you don't have testosterone, you become neutered. You're no longer a real man. You have no aggression. You have no balls. You have nothing. When you stop jerking off, you'll notice that you become a lot hornier within the first week. And I believe the first 2 weeks are by far the hardest of semen retention, especially when you've been addicted to porn for a majority of your life. From middle school, hitting puberty, up until this point, you've been jerking off almost every single night. You probably do it 2 to 5 times a week. And at my worst, I was doing it around like 2 times a day. When you get off of porn, you stop jerking off, the amount of prolactin you release, I think it's called prolactin, some shit like that. You don't release that. You don't kill your dopamine receptors. So one, if you do have sex with a lovely lady that you are interested in, the orgasm you have is immense. The amount of dopamine you release is huge, and since you haven't been blasting your nerves with dopamine, you have no tolerance to it. When you stop jerking off and you stop being addicted to porn, you will also stop seeing women as sexual objects. You will stop treating them terribly, because yeah, I know in this community we like to be misogynist, and women like it too. However, good misogyny is a lot different from being toxic towards the more pretty sex, you know, the beautiful, beautiful sex. Men and women have their equal importance, but they're not equal in what they do. Men are beasts, men should be warriors, and women are the true beauties. Women are nature in human form. If you can see the state of women in a culture, you can see the state of their society as a whole. Another thing when you stop jerking off, like I mentioned earlier, is your horniness and your testosterone, your aggression, that goes out the roof. It becomes harder to resist. And it's okay if you relapse. Everyone does. If someone tells you that they haven't relapsed before, they are absolutely 100% lying to you. They are 100% lying to you. When you're practicing semen retention or no-fap, what you're doing is you're breaking an addiction. And everyone who's addicted relapses at some point. So don't discourage yourself about it, because everyone goes through that. Yes, you will feel like shit when it happens, but pick yourself up and keep going. I'll get off that tangent. Anyway, you have all this testosterone, you have all this aggression, all this horniness. Now you can either choose to sit there and think about pussy all fucking day and have your dick hard and all that shit, and you're like, oh, yeah, I need to jerk off, wah, wah, wah. You can either do that, or you can transmute, you can turn that horniness, that aggression, into creative energy. Go outside, walk around, or go to the gym, or draw, or write, or read a book, or just make a fucking video. It doesn't matter if you're going to release it or show anyone. Just make something. And if you are a creator, if you are someone who makes posts or videos or any type of content, you will notice that when you retain your seed, your content improves. Your dedication and discipline towards that content also improves. A third thing about what happens when you retain your seed is your confidence. Your confidence starts to go out the roof. Because you have all this testosterone and horniness, your confidence around people goes up. You'll find it easier to wake up in the morning. You'll find it easier to perform at work. The people around it will notice it too. They won't know why, but they'll notice, like, damn, this man has been doing really good recently. He's been kicking ass. All that pent-up aggression and horniness, that transfers into confidence, which then transfers into your ability to just do better in every aspect of life. And the last thing on the physical side, also relates to confidence, is your confidence around women. Women will subconsciously know the difference between a man who is retaining his seed and one who doesn't retain his seed. They don't know it in their conscious mind, but in their subconscious mind, they know something is different about the man who retains. They know he's got something good for them, and they will ultimately go towards that man over the one who's jerking off. Now, yes, all women, but mainly high quality women. Higher quality women will not go for those who are lame, who are lazy, and who suppress their testosterone. Sluts will, absolutely sluts will, but the higher quality women will not. And you'll notice that when you're retaining your seed and you're building up that test and your pheromones are going fucking wild, the higher quality women will start to take an interest in you. You begin to glow. Your smile becomes brighter and your gaze becomes more intense. Now let's get into the spiritual side of semen retention really quickly. So semen retention is practiced by monks throughout all religions, and is practiced by gurus and all that shit. I'm not the most educated in the spiritual aspect. I can't recite a lot of this from heart. So I highly recommend Earth Wisdom on YouTube. That's Earth Wisdom, spelled like how you would Earth and Wisdom. There's no funny characters or funny spellings or anything. He's got wonderful content on the spiritual side of semen retention. But in layman's terms, the Kundalini, your spine, your chakras, you have your root chakra as it goes up, you get to your pineal gland and crown chakra. Your root chakra will never heal if you are not retaining your seed, because you're constantly exercising that sexual energy. You're constantly releasing it. It has no chance to build up. But as you let the sexual energy build up, your root chakra becomes healed, and therefore all the other chakras going up your spine, just burped, sorry, excuse me, all those other chakras will become healed as well and energized, and the sexual energy that you have built up in your body for a long time, they say around 90 days is how long it takes to get to your pineal gland. That is when your pineal gland is nourished and begins to open up more. So the tree of life is an allegory for the Kundalini, the spine, your chakra centers. And as you water the roots, it nourishes and goes up, and it produces the fruit. it opens up the fruit, which is your pineal gland. And then the fruit then secretes a holy nectar, or the drink of the gods, if you will, which is DMT. And DMT is what allows you to be connected spiritually to the creator, the universe. Now, it's not like taking a DMT pill or fucking drink or some shit. You're not put into a fucking trance and a trip. That amount of DMT is fucking huge. That amount of DMT is equivalent to what's released when you die. This amount of DMT from semen retention is nowhere near that amount, but it will create a difference in your life. Around the 90-day mark, you will feel so accomplished, and you will feel so connected to what's around you. So now that we finished semen retention, which is a huge part of fitness, and this is why it took so long to spoke about it. I mean, we're 20 minutes in and I was talking about fucking nutting, right? Let's get into discipline and hard work. So you will see the difference between the man who lays in bed all day, wakes up late, always complains, is lazy, and doesn't want to do shit, stays up late, plays video games, and goes to bed and does it over again. You'll see the difference between a man who wakes up early, a man who wakes up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, gets up, gets his shit done, and begins working on the fucking weekend. You can tell the difference. These people are a lot nicer to be around than the fat slob who lays in bed all day. I know you know it. We've all been around those people, both kinds. When you're around the one who gets shit done, you're around the one who has discipline and determination, versus when you're around the one who sits in bed, jerks his cock, and watches fucking anime and plays with his Nintendo Switch. You notice the fucking difference. The disciplined one, being around him, you feel his energy and you're like, wow, this guy fucking motivates me, you know? If they're not super annoying about it. Some people are really annoying about it. Kitty cat, stop. Hey, stop. My cat's going crazy on the blinds right now. Sorry about that. You will notice the difference compared to the slob. Because when you're around that guy, you kind of feel sick. You don't feel motivated. You're around this man, you're like, ugh, fuck. If your friend group is full of lames, you will probably do what they do. You become who you surround yourself with. And yes, you can pick your friends. Not in early childhood. You're kind of stuck around them. But that doesn't matter. In adulthood, you pick your friends. If your friends are slobs and you're surrounded by them, you're going to take up their actions. You're going to start doing what they do. Their habits will become yours as well. If your friends are a bunch of lazy stoners, chances are you're going to be a lazy stoner. The inverse is true for disciplined friends. If you're around a friend group that is full of healthy jacked guys who like to go outside, get tan, do cool shit, do high tea activities, they're not obsessed with getting their nut off, you will also become like them. Your friends and all the energy you guys share is kind of like an echo chamber. And if it's high energy between all of you, and you're constantly with each other and creating shit and doing cool shit, that energy will continue to grow. So, I would recommend finding discipline in your life, finding determination. Evaluate the people around you who are slobs and evaluate those who are doers. Admire the successes of the discipline and scoff at the failures of the slobs. Observe what they do, take notes, and do what's best for you. If you want to be the slob, go ahead, be the slob, but you won't have an ounce of respect from your peers in your life, and your wife's gonna beat you. That's for sure. Your kids will hate you, and they will love your neighbor that's piping your wife. But if you become disciplined and you take care of your shit, people will respect you. People will look to you for advice. They will see you as a leader. Now, how do you build discipline, determination? How do you get all that? It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. You need to tell yourself that you will get this done on this day. Don't open up your phone and get on social media and do all that fucking loser shit first thing when you wake up. First thing when you wake up and your alarm goes off, maybe sit there for a minute or so, breathe, let your body adjust to being awake. It's just been paralyzed for 8 fucking hours, right? Once your body realizes, like, oh shit, it's time to move, fucking spring out of bed. Don't sit there and close your eyes again and go back to sleep. Don't get onto your phone. Don't just lay there looking at the ceiling. Get the fuck up. Brush your teeth, get dressed. Don't go on technology for the first hour of your morning. I would recommend, in order to build discipline, I would highly recommend, 1, you're not jerking off anymore. We already discussed that, so that's helpful. 2, work out in the morning. If you have nothing to do in the morning, work out. Do something physical. Stretch, work out, yoga, run. I don't recommend running because it's bad for your knees, but if that's all you can do, fucking do it. Don't make an excuse. Get moving. When you're moving first thing after you wake up, you're priming your body. And yes, I know as soon as you wake up, it's hard to lift the weights and all that, but once you're like 10 minutes into a workout, you're fucking amped, okay? You're amped. So if you're working out or doing something physical first thing in the morning, the rest of your day becomes a success. It becomes a success because your body has been primed to do some crazy shit, lift heavy, lift wild, but do it properly, please. Don't injure yourself. Your body got moving. It got blood pumping. It got your brain to start working. After you've worked out and your day is done and you've gone to the store and you've gotten your meal prep, get home and do whatever work you have to do. If you have to clean, if you have to cook, you got to take care of your animals or your kids, do that shit. Do it. And now afterwards, on the weekend, you say you wake up at 6 on a Saturday, work out for an hour or two. Now it's 8 o'clock. You go to the store for 30 minutes. 30 minutes to get home. Now it's not. It's fucking 9 o'clock. You get home, you take care of all your shit, say 2 hours. Now it's 11. It's 11 and everything is done. So you go to bed at 9 or 10, right? That means you have around 10 to 11 hours to create, to relax, to read, to meditate, to do whatever you want. That first step in the day of getting shit done, it releases dopamine. And since you're not jerking off all the fucking time and binging TV shows and all that, your dopamine receptors have less tolerance. So when you do normal mundane shit, even though it releases less dopamine than busting a nut, it still fulfills you. It makes you feel good. And this also relates to semen retention in another way. If you've retained your seed, you now have a lot of creative energy built inside of you. Since you have more confidence and determination to create, this paired with the discipline of hard work and the feeling of being successful after getting shit done early in the day, you combine that and now you become a different person. You have so much energy to work on what you want to work on. You can do whatever you want. You can carve cool wood sculptures. You can write poetry. You can read books. You can make videos, make posts. Or you can do what I'm doing and make a podcast. You have so much time on your hands now. So much time to create. So much energy to pour into your projects. Discipline and hard work is needed to create a wonderful life. If you don't have it, if you don't get the work done, you can't feel relaxed. Because if you're trying to relax and you haven't gotten shit done and you laid in bed all day, you will have this thought in the back of your head the whole time saying, damn, I'm a lazy piece of shit. I sat in my fucking bed all day. I didn't get a goddamn thing done. And you become less motivated to create. Your brain isn't as active. Your body is still sleepy. When you get up and you get shit done, yeah, you spend a lot of energy. You spend a lot. However, you have more energy. It empowers you. Discipline yourself to get up and do shit. Discipline yourself to retain your seed. Discipline yourself to become greater. Stop saying, oh, I want to be this. I will be this. I want to do this. I want to do that. Blah, 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 blah. Don't even say I will. Don't even say I will. Even if it hasn't happened yet, say I am. I dropped from 210 pounds to 190 in this month. That's a lot. That is a lot. And sometimes I'm even shocked at the results, but then I think like, wait, no. I am shredded. I am cut. I'm not chubby right now. There's no shot. I'm fucking ripped to the max. And I believe it with my heart. Even if it has not happened yet, I believe it. I speak those words into existence. I control the reality that I live in. I create my world. If you're the type to constantly beat yourself up, if you don't have the confidence, you don't have the will, you don't have the determination to say, I am great, then you are not gonna fucking make it, brah. Seriously, you need to stop speaking negative shit into your life. When something bad happens to you, or shit just isn't going the way that you want it to be, sure, you may not be able to control the circumstance, but you can control the way that you view it. And your perspective, your outlook, the lens that you look through to see the world around you is how your reality is formed. If you use a macro lens, you can't see shit. You can only see what's directly in front at the smallest level. You cannot see the big picture. But if you use a fisheye lens, your field of view increases and you can see all around you. And I think fisheye looks cool as fuck. Wide lenses are cool. Change your perspective. If shit is not going good around you, so fucking what? Damn, work fucking sucks recently. Getting our asses kicked. All this shit. I just want to go home and drink and sleep and all that shit. Or, damn, work is sucking. But this is a fucking challenge, and I kind of like it. I'm thriving right now. If I can make it through this, I can make it through anything. This is fucking easy compared to what some people go through. In fact, I'm motivated, and when I get home, I'm gonna fucking work out. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna do some yoga. I'm gonna cook some healthy food. I'm gonna get my life on track. Because I'm thankful for everything. Do you see the difference? You also notice that when you're around self-deprecating people. Is that the word? Self-deprecating? Yeah. You're around these people who are constantly berating themselves. Just like that guy I spoke about earlier. You're around these people who are saying, oh my god, I hate this. I'm such a loser. I'm such a this, that. They want sympathy. Don't give it to them. You're like, yeah, you are. You should probably change something. Don't be that guy, though. Don't be the one who is always lame, who is always a loser. If you tell yourself, like, I'm a loser, no one likes me, congrats, you're a loser and no one fucking likes you, and you will never get better. You just won't. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen because you're telling yourself, and these words are getting into your subconscious. And they are telling your body to send these depressing signals to your nerves, your brains, all this shit. And so you become a loser. Your brain tells your body that you're a loser. You tell your brain, and your brain tells your body, and your body reacts, and it becomes a loser. However, if you're not self-deprecating, if you're self-empowering, if you're confident, if you're willing yourself to become better, you will be better. Tell yourself, I'm not a fucking loser. I'm the fucking man, even if you aren't at the time. Just say it. I am the fucking man. I get shit done, and I create my reality. I am disciplined. I am determined. I am worthy. And I am thankful for everything that I have. Tell that shit to yourself every fucking day. Or make up your own fucking affirmation. But stop telling yourself that you're a fucking loser, man. Because no one is going to want to be around you if you're a loser. No one's going to want to talk to you. No one's going to want to be your fucking friend. You're like, damn, this guy's a fucking loser. Because you are. But if you're a winner, start telling yourself to be a winner, people are going to love you. You're going to love yourself. You're going to be way cooler than you were when you were being self-deprecating. So if you want to be jacked and handsome and ripped, and you want shit to go well in life, and you want people to look up to you as a leader, just 3 simple things. Stop jerking off. Get off the fucking porn. Get up and do the work. Stop associating with people who don't do the work. Discipline yourself. And stop telling yourself that you're a fucking loser, man. Tell yourself that you're fucking great. Because I am. I'm fucking awesome. I'm great. I'm the fucking man. I get shit done. And I love my life. And I love the people in my life. And I'm thankful for fucking everything that I have. Even when times are tough, I'm thankful for the challenge. I thank God every single fucking day for what I have. And for what He blesses me with. Do those. Create your life. Sure, a lot of stuff I mentioned, I said for the purpose of fitness and becoming the version of yourself that you want to see, the vision, achieving that vision. But that applies for everything in life. The steps used to achieve great fitness and great aesthetics can be applied to anything in life. So that was episode 1, just a quick little rant, quick little podcast. Hope it motivated you guys. Hope it made you feel warm inside. If you guys have any recommendations for the podcast, any topics, episodes you want to discuss, or shit, even if you want to be a fucking guest on the show, DM me on Instagram. You know my account, @Vril Seeker. Appreciate you guys for listening. Here's some cool music.